Okay, for those of you who might want to know how to do a daily warm-up activity on a digital device, or specifically Chromebooks, for when kids walk in the room and you can get them going right away, here's the way I do it. First I go into my Google Drive, then I click New, go over to Google Forms. Once the Forms is opened, I will change this untitled form to something like Daily Warm-Up. That's what I call mine. The question, I put the days of the week, and then I put paragraph text underneath that. So then what I'll do is on my screen, on the board that I'm projecting, I can put their assignment of whatever I want them to get started on. Then as they come in, they go to whatever day it is, and they can add their responses to it. So I keep this form as generic as possible so that I can reuse it over and over again. One thing that can cause a slight confusion with is if you're looking at it wondering what is it that they're actually doing. So what I've taught my kids to do, since a warm-up usually isn't very long anyway, I will have them type in what I want them to do. So for instance, if you wanted them to summarize something from a reading that they did, you could have them type summarize dash and whatever the reading thing might have been. Okay, then they can put in their answers. On what they would view would be something like this, where all they would see is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can of course go in through here and customize all of the forms, and that's on other lessons. But at any rate, this is how you could do some of that. So then what you would do, their responses, once you have them, okay, would be collected in a spreadsheet. That goes into your Google Classroom folder on your drive. So you can, after they take this, okay, so what I have them do, so Monday they fill in their answer, and then they will hit at the bottom of their screen, they'll see a little thing that says submit. I tell them not to submit it until we've gone over it together. That can cause problems because once they submit it, they can't get it back as easily as you might like. And when you go over it, they might not remember exactly what they typed. So for instance, I do a lot of things with vocabulary and verbs and things like that. So for me, I have them write their answers, and then when we go through them together, if they miss that answer, I just say put a dash and put the correct answer next to it so that they're learning that process of here's my incorrect answer, now I put my correct answer. Then at the end I have them submit it. I don't tie a penalty of points or anything like that towards this so that they don't have to feel like they need to erase their bad answer and put their right answer, that it's all about a formative thing for me to see where they're at, and so that you have to develop a little bit of trust with the kids so that they'll trust you enough to leave their incorrect answers for you to be able to view them. But with enough practice, it's not that hard to get them to do that. So once they would put that in there, at the end of each day they could submit. So then the next time that they would open it up, they would go to whatever day it is. So if a couple days go by where you don't do that because we're on an alternate schedule for something, and maybe they don't get to it till Thursday, well then on their spreadsheet, or on your spreadsheet that you see, it'll say Thursday and then their work. So you know which days they've got, which days they don't have. What I do with this then is once I'm done, I hit my preview, I go up and I copy the link that I've just created in the internet link. Then I take it over to my Google Classroom. For me, I think it's easiest to put it under the About section. So I have my information here, and then the very first thing they see is the daily warm-up. So when they walk into my class, if I have a warm-up activity running, they'll open up their Chromebook, go straight to the About section, open up this daily warm-up, and here's the one that I created for them a while back. And you can see I've kept it even more generic because some days I might want to do a couple questions, if I'm not planning on having a everyday warm-up, for instance. So here's what they see with the submit button like I was talking about. It works really well because you can check what they're doing really quickly because it just keeps everybody on the same spreadsheet, and you can catch on really fast if they're understanding the content or not, and it'll store it on your Google Drive for future reference. The kids are aware that you're looking at it, but they're also aware that it's just practice, and so that's helpful in the sense that you get an honest answer, but you also get to see, are the kids actually doing what they're supposed to do? So if I'm sitting in the back of the room and I'm thinking I'm not going to do this and I'm going to pretend that I'm working on my computer so the teacher thinks I really am, you can actually see that they did or didn't do it, and then you can deal with that in another way. So in a nutshell, that's how I would do that. It works pretty well just to keep things generic and have them fill that in, and you could probably adapt it to your content area quite easily. Hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions.